What is good, everyone? It is Zigzag here. Welcome back to another GeoGuessr video. It is good to be back. So I just got back from my 5-week trip over in Europe, and I literally arrived today. I have not slept in something like 40 hours by now, so pardon me if I make any screw-ups in this video, but I'm super keen to get back on the grind. So yeah, all the videos you've been seeing recently were pre-scheduled. Now we are back to live, and I also plan to do a lot more streaming at the moment. So do go ahead and follow me on Twitch. I'm gonna try and get really good. Like, I really want to get to like top 20 in the world kind of level. So hopefully I'll be learning some countries over there a lot of times in the Australian evenings. Okay, so I say we do some country streaks today, just get back into the swing of things. I've not played in a while, so let's see how my accuracy is going. I'll try and explain my guesses and all that kind of thing, and hopefully we can get a decent country streak going over here. Okay, so first one here is obviously South Africa with these signs. I'm not really going to go for a 5k here, but I'll try and get the right region as well. I was kind of just thinking somewhere in central here. Ends up being on the Botswanan border, interestingly, so kind of a tough round actually. Okay, next one here is Russia. This has got the black bottom of the sign here. The only two countries that really do that often are Thailand and Russia, and this is obviously not Thailand, so I'm just going to go here. Ends up being actually all the way up near Finland, so I wasn't expecting that. Next one here looks like Australia. Let's turn around here. It's actually black car, so it should be somewhere in Argentina then, or Uruguay. Could actually see Uruguay here. We've got like a white signpost here, so that may actually suggest Uruguay. And we've also kind of got this like haze on the camera, which seems quite Uruguayan as well to me, so I'm going to try it. It ends up being, yeah, all the way down south there. It was a very Australian looking Uruguay around there. Okay, next one here should be somewhere in like Ecuador, bollards here. It should be Ecuador, Colombia if it looks like this, and then the bollards are quite common over in Ecuador, so that's definitely nice. So my current record is 65. I definitely think that's easily beatable. This is a Polish sign here with the thin red border and the yellow filled in. And okay, so all the way down south there, that's a 5-country streak. Very, very good start, and I say we keep it up. So hopefully all this travel I've done in Central Europe ends up being good for my overall scores. By the way, I'm gonna do a stream where I go through like a bunch of the photos. I took a lot of photos while I was over there, so I'll go through that. I'll probably put a community post or something like that for when I actually will do that stream, but I'll also probably make a VOD available of it on YouTube, unlisted or something, so like join my Discord if you want to see that. But okay, this one should be somewhere in, I thought Indonesia before reading this, but we've got a lot of English, so perhaps it's actually just somewhere in Philippines. We've got the white generation forecast, so I think that also fits Philippines. And the P with the 2 strikes through, I think is Filipino, right? I mean, it's not rupiah, which is in Thailand, and I think Thailand, which is in Indonesia. I think Indonesia was the only other option here, so I think we just go Philippines here. Ends up being up north. Okay, so some of those northern rounds are quite difficult when it's in the mountains. Okay, single yellow line here. This should be Mexico with Generation 2. Don't really have to think about that all too hard. Kind of central here, I'd say. Ends up actually being in Guanajuato. Okay, next one here, yellow outsides. Yeah, should just be somewhere in Britain with the yellow rear plate here. Thinking southern. That's my vibe here. Ends up being relatively southern, actually in Wales though. Okay, next one here is going to be somewhere in Romania. Yep, we've got a bit of Romance language there, so we can just send it in here. Don't want to go too quickly, but on around like that, we can definitely say we're going to be correct. Okay, when it comes to these ones, I'm going to say that for my own streak, I'm going to count it, and it's going to be an easy Romania again with that poll. So that's basically why. If it was like no information, then I would let myself have it. This is Generation 1, but it's just going to be USA. I think Oregon and Washington have a lot of Generation 1. Ends up being in Massachusetts though, so I mean, we've got the right country, but barely. Here we have some Nigeria. And is this new coverage? I would say this is just somewhere. I wonder if this is actually new coverage. I don't remember this black police car in front of the camera, but it should be somewhere near Abuja anyway. And it ends up being, okay, yeah, Akura there. I wonder if that is actually new coverage or not. Anyway, we're here in South Korea. I feel like I've seen this round before, although you often do get somewhere on the highways like that. Gonna go there. Ends up being a decent guess for South Korean standards. Kind of a difficult country to guess within. Okay, all yellows here. This is obviously somewhere in the Netherlands. Don't really have to think too hard about that one. And the next one here is all yellow rear plates again, so it should be somewhere in United Kingdom. And we probably do have the actual name here, but yeah, I'm a little bit too tired for finding exact places here. But 18,000, obviously that USA round definitely let us down on the score side of things, but we are on 15 countries in a row, and this one's going to be somewhere in Russia. Let's try and think about a decent Russia guess here. I do like to get close when it comes to Russia, but I would say this is relatively difficult, so I'm just going to go out basically think it could be somewhere inside the what do you call it, the Ural Mountains here. So that's kind of where I'll go here, and it ends up being in Novosibirsk, so not awful, but not very good. This one is South Africa. Easy, easy, easy. Generation 4, southern African looking vibes, has to be South Africa. Okay, this one, UK again. This is very this house is very UK architecture. Not that you normally need architecture in the UK. We've got signs set up for left here, yellow rear plates, I think. Yep, there we have them. But yeah, it's a very, very British house, I would say, and it ends up being up there. Okay, next one here is actually, you know, off the bat looking like one of the more difficult ones we've had so far. I would say it's a Bulgaria. And we have a Bulgarian flag right there, so that's definitely going to check out, and we just go somewhere in the mountains here. Ends up being a good guess. Okay, so definitely have not lost all my skills while I've been away here. We've got a Canadian sign here. The white signpost that's thick is much more common in Canada than the US, and this is a Canadian-only sign as well. As for province, I kind of like Manitoba. Yeah, I think I kind of like Manitoba, and it ends up being in Saskatchewan, so not a good result. I like to get the Canada province correct, and on this occasion it doesn't come through, but hey, we're going nicely. This one is maybe a difficult round. That looks like a French slash Spanish pole top there. So this round feels more like France overall. This pole probably also feels more French, but these houses are kind of strange. So I definitely don't see them being Spanish. Not very Spanish looking houses at all. And the hills in the background, the kind of rolling landscape, also probably fits a little bit better for France, especially considering the greenery here. So I would suggest maybe somewhere up here. It ends up being just near Paris. So we moved to 21 countries in a row. Actually, feeling pretty good here, honestly. Considering the lack of sleep I'm at right now, feeling pretty good. But that was an easy Poland with the bollards. Ends up being right on the German border, but those bollards aren't really found elsewhere apart from very rarely in the Ukraine. Next one here, we have... Is that Italian or Romanian or what? Doesn't look like Italian front license plates here, so I'm thinking we might be in Romania. Black backs of the sign would also definitely fit for Romania. So now I'm just trying to find if we see any like Dacia cars, because they're very, very common in... Here's one. This is the make of car that I was talking about, Dacia or Dacia. Here's another one. So yeah, definitely going to be somewhere in Romania here. It's what's made over there, and it was just over here in Constanța, I guess it's pronounced. Next one here, Thai lamppost, left-hand drive, easy, easy, easy. As for the region, Pattaya City, could that make sense? Mountain's probably a bit too big for over there, in which case I'll probably just go kind of down here instead. Ends up being northern, whoops. Okay, next one here. Kind of interesting poles here. Are these Colombian or something like that? Oh, no, Kenyan. That makes sense. I mean, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But we have the snorkel, so we don't have to worry about any other country here. I bet we can see something that says Safaricom or something like that over here. Well, it's very common to see in Kenya anyway. I don't think we can this time, but you often see that company Safaricom all over in Kenya. But this should still be somewhere in this direction, I think. I'm not sure exactly where to go here. I mean, the soil is not super red like you might see around Eldoret, so I'll just go here. And it ends up being actually the other side of Nairobi. So that kind of makes sense, to be honest. But we moved to 25 country streak, so definitely no complaint about how things are going so far. Okay, this one is... Ooh, is it Germany or is it Luxembourg? These bollards, they're the only two countries that really make sense here. I think the landscape is very kind of Luxembourg-like. But I can see Germany too. I think this is quite rural. Right, and that would be quite uncommon for Germany, where you normally have the coverage inside the cities. The houses over here, though, this red roof, not so Luxembourg-like, but plenty of the other houses are. So I think I'll head to my bets and go for Luxembourg here. I think it just makes a bit more sense here. Ultimately, I can see Germany. Like, there are a number of places that could make sense, but I think Luxembourg's a better shout. And it ends up being in Luxembourg. Actually, had to clench a little bit there because I was not sure. I could see myself losing that 50-50, but it comes through on this occasion. Next one here. What's that plate? Interesting. This feels... it's a bit hilly for Baltic, maybe. Maybe it could be... I'm actually not so sure. We got a lot of little blurs, like this one here. Do we actually have many more? Yeah, not so sure. This could be Czechoslovakia, actually. The more I look at it, the more I think it's a bit hilly for Baltic. This house feels more Czechoslovak. We do kind of have this like a red rearview mirror, which is more common in the Baltics though. So I am still wondering about cheeky Lithuania with some of the bigger hills in the country. Yeah, it's not entirely obvious to me, I must say. Latvia, I don't really like so much, but you have to say this round's kind of difficult. Here we have like a round concrete pole, which would definitely be less common in Lithuania. I think this actually may be Czechoslovakia or even Hungary. I could see Hungary too, but yeah, I'm looking for house numbers or anything like that. I don't really see anything that will help me distinguish that much about this round. The pole is, I mean, it's not a holy pole, so probably not Hungary, all things considered. I think that's another pole there. I think that's actually not the tree, but a pole. So yeah, that's one of the two. Of the two, I think I actually may prefer Czechia here. It could even be France or something like that. I don't see that as impossible, but with the round pole, I'm gonna go for Czechia here. Let's see it. And it is very nice. Actually, super good guess there. Going to Czech and Slovakia has definitely helped with that kind of thing, I must say. I think I probably would have tried to go Slovakia there before my trip. So already the real life experience coming through pretty clutch. This one's an easy Bolivia because of the blue number plates. Blue text on the number plates in Bolivia. And this one looks like Denmark, I would say. Bollard, I believe, is Danish as well. These short dashes on the outside of the road also. So yeah, feeling good about that for sure here. Ends up being the Copenhagen there. And the last one for 30 here is looking like, I guess, Singapore. It says Singapore there. I was actually considering here that it may be Malaysia because it kind of feels like a little bit further out. So I'm going to go in this suburb here. It ends up being in that suburb indeed. A little bit of a stroke of luck there. My Singapore guesses are never anything special, but apart from today. I should have tried a little bit harder when it came to that Bolivia and that Denmark. They're the two I didn't even try on, but all the rest of them were really close there. So a 23.6 is definitely solid. Give the page a refresh here and let's head into the next. Hopefully I can break my record here. 65 is so easily beatable. This is like Okinawa or something. This architecture with the flat roofs is surely Okinawa or somewhere in the southern islands of Japan. So I'll go in Naha here, and it ends up being, yeah, in the southern islands there. Nice. It's definitely a good meta. That one definitely works most of the time. This one is somewhere in Turkey, blue strips, and what's the other clue here? I mean, I guess this language is the big thing, and I don't know where to go. It kind of feels more like the Asian side, like deep Asia side. I would go Batman for the fun of it. I think ends up being near Adana there, so yeah, not terrible. Next one here is France or Belgium or something like that with these poles. I think it's France though. Doesn't really look like Belgium. We got the blue sticker on the pole and. Interesting, blue and white, that is the French way. Indeed, definitely not Belgian. And we're super close there by French standards, so also nice. Next one here should be, oh, it's actually, I thought this was the Mexican font, but it is actually Peru because of these, and also because of the cinder blocks at the bottom of the sign. It's super dry. So I feel like just south of Lima or something works here. Ends up being northern, that also makes sense, but unfortunately, our guess is no good. This one is kind of interesting. Red roofs here. Red tiled roofs often means this part of Japan, so I think I'll just try that. Hiroshima ends up being, yeah, not a terrific guess. And normally when you see more red roofs, it is around there, but we only saw really one there, so you can't really trust that too much. Still, 35, and we are going strong here. Haven't ran into too many difficult rounds here, though, I will say that much. This looks like... why is this not immediately coming to mind here? We are driving right, so is this... Wait, it's Taichung. Okay, that makes a lot of sense here. And so there's Taichung City. And we are right there. Very nice indeed. I mean, I didn't really put two and two together at the start, but it works. This, yeah, we got rifts. I was going to say, this looks exactly like Albania, kind of like strange Albania coverage. I don't really see Montenegro here. I think this kind of rockiness, lack of trees, and the overcast coverage really reminds me more of Albania. I'm still looking for bollards anyway, because, you know, can't be too safe, but yeah, I think I'll just go somewhere like around here maybe. Let's try that, and it ends up being a really nice guess. So we're actually on for a really good score here. First two rounds have been high scores. Next one here is just Canada, although could it ever be like Kansas or something like that? It's, yeah, it could be, but I still think I prefer Canada. I do. You know, this, yeah, this is actually a difficult round. There are several places in the United States that could also look like this. I really do prefer like southern Alberta, Sask, but Nebraska, Kansas, South Dakota all work as well, I feel like. I I really do feel that way. So can we find anything? I think these things people talk about in the USA. So maybe, and also the prevalence of these like tar fillings on the road is also quite, I would say, an American thing rather than Canadian. We are on a sealed road as well rather than this dirt road. If we're on this dirt road, I would probably just send Canada, but I'm really considering USA here, I must say. It looks more Canadian, but I feel like I've died on rounds like this pretty often when it's just US. So we've got like we've got like 2 dead bugs on the camera here as well. Yeah, just kind of stalling the inevitable here, but I think I want to trust this thing. I think they might be in Canada too, actually, but I think I heard someone say they're more common in US maybe. I feel like if I don't overthink this, I just go straight for Canada, but I feel like this can so easily be US, you know? Okay, still a little bit longer here. These ridges are strange. Like, I feel like it's kind of this area here more so, to be honest. I think I'm gonna go for USA here. Risky, I know. It's probably just like southern Saskatchewan. That would be my probably if I had to pick one place, I would say there. But I just think there's a lot of places in the US that can go this way as well. So I'm gonna go for US here. Let's see it. And it was in North Dakota. Not one of the states I mentioned, but a really nice result there. Yeah, I mean, it goes your way sometimes, doesn't it? And we move on here for a Sweden. We've got the Swedish flag, and so I just say we go Örebro here, Örebro, and ends up being near Gothenburg. This one is just Argy, I would say, just Argentina. Although we do have a thick white post here, which should be actually Uruguayan. That's an Argentinian number plate, so I feel like this is a rare. It looks more like Argentina. That's immediately my thought. It's very sunny, and it feels kind of far away from civilization in a way that you often don't get in Uruguay. But this car could also have traveled. I just feel like that is probably also an Argentinian plate, and that also might be as well. They both kind of have the appearance of perhaps being black. This one is as well. So yeah, it's Argentina. It is this is just a bait. This is just a bait. Quite rare to see that there, I feel. But I would probably just send it over here somewhere, actually. Ends up being near Rosario, so yeah, not terrific, but we're on to a 40 streak, so I really, really want to pay full concentration here and make it to a personal best, because it's about time I broke 65. I'm definitely capable of more. This one should just be Italy. Signs of the black backs of the signs here, very Italian. Double white, no antenna on the car, generation 4. It should all check out for Italy here. I just want to see if there's anything concretely Italian here. These signs also feel quite Italian, but it's all a feeling so far. It's nothing confirmed. Do we have a chevron? We do have a black and white chevron, so I think that basically all but makes it confirmed. Near Rome, maybe? Ends up being near Genoa instead. This is USA or Canada. It's another hard one. Let's see if we can work this out, though. We have some English. Okay, stop sign. I'm leaning USA, actually. Hold up. We've got snow on the roof here. That is definitely limiting the number of states it can be. This is a very northern-looking tree. I feel like I've had this around before. Lacking front plates there. That might mean we should go Canada, but green street signs are more American. So this is another true 50-50 between the United States and Canada. This font here is also strange, you know. I feel like that's quite distinctive, but yeah. May lean Canada now after looking at all this, I think. Just trying to think of where I'd put it though. The lack of fronts is certainly interesting. I would like to send Quebec if it wasn't for the fact that we're definitely speaking the English. So Wisconsin kind of makes sense. Minnesota, Michigan. I think it's Michigan with the lack of front plates. I think this is Michigan, honestly. I do. I think it looks like Canada. It's wintry. We're lacking front plates. It all checks out for Canada, but there's something wrong with these street signs and the architecture, I think. Like this house, yeah, this house does not feel Canadian to me. This one could be easily. Let's do a house survey, shall we? This one could easily be Canadian, obviously. So could this one. But It's this house over here that makes me really want to go USA. It feels very typical American. To me. Okay, I think I'm going to go for Michigan here. Let's see if I'm right. Oh, scheiße. It is just near Saskatoon there. Maybe I should have been... the house still feels American to me, but when I looked at all the other ones, they definitely felt Canadian, so I should have taken the hint, I think. Yeah, it was maybe a little bit hilly. We saw a bit of a hill. Michigan's pretty flat, so 41 countries is not a bad effort. Let me see how long I've been recording for, though. 20-minute video. I think I will end it off there because I am pretty tired, but guys, stay tuned for for the streams coming up. I've got a lot of videos. I think I'm going to have some videos with Rainbow coming up, so that should be a lot of fun as well. And guys, I say thank you very much for watching the video. Good to be back, and yeah, stay tuned for more. Goodbye.